So yeah, 2025, new year, and last page of Horus and Seth. The end is near. Well, of this text at least. Maybe just to get everybody, I mean, stay hopeful, right? Everybody, to get everybody on the same page, may make sense to quickly go over what happened so far. Maybe I'll just read through it, if that's all right with everybody. So, went into Herine Hor, Horus, not Hor, there's no us. Horus Haise, so, and then one brought Horus, yes, one brought Horus, you to the Hadjet, or Hajde, or something, Hadepef, and one put the crown on his head, you to Dituf Ertaset and Yat Wasir, and one put him on the throne or the seat of the father or his father. There is no F in here, but in English it would make sense, of his father Osiris. You Hadjed Naf, saying to him, and one said to him, Tuk emense Nafer en Tameri, you are the good king of Egypt. Took what? Took Emneb, Anukhujaiseneb, Nafaru, Entanib, Ershainich, Jet. You are the Lord, life, health, prosperity, or prosperity, health, of goodness, beauty, question mark, of the entire land until ever and ever, or forever and eternity, or however we want to render that. We spoke quite a bit about this life, prosperity, health. I'm not going to go there again unless we want to stretch the video. But as I was reading through this again, I realized the Lord of Neferu, of beauty, now with everything we've had in the Euergetes and Eucharistos and whatnot in the Demotic slash Ptolemaic session, that sort of sounds kind of similar, actually. So it just, with every text you make new connections, and I'm thinking like, Neferu? That actually sounds awfully similar to what we have 1,000 years later. Not quite, not 1,000, almost. 900 years later in Ptolemaic. So kind of interesting. But yeah, without getting stuck there, let's continue. Acha and Ise, Aush Segab, Segab A, and Sas, and Isis cried out aloud to her son. Does it say her son? Yes, her son Hor, her son Horus, and Jet saying, Tuk emen senafer, Ibe emrashe. You are the good king. My heart is in joy. I think we got that. Yeah, we got further. What else? Sachrekta, may you illuminate the earth. Sachrekta emmawinek, in your shape. Awin really in Coptic means color, but I think here we had said in your shape, in your form, something of that nature, or by your shape, by your form. This could be instrumental in English. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Just going through what we had covered so far, and I think we had this one the last time too.
Sorry, before you go on,
yes, sir.
I think we talked about this before. I can't remember what we said. It sounded like you said my heart.
Yes, this is my heart.
So you're taking that ET, and then the rest are just divine determinatives. I thought maybe she was talking about herself in the third person, but
oh, interesting. So let's see. I mean, if it were third person, it would be Ipsted, though, right? Like if it were her heart, Caesar style. So the T could be one of two things. I mean, you see it very often as the ending on nouns, like on names or something. Female names, especially divine names or royal names, that would make sense. And in later date, especially like Ptolemaic, it would make sense. Or you would see the T for the second person singular, female, feminine, which often is homophonous to the, is that a word? Well, but often enough sounds the same to the first person. So I'm wondering if they're just writing a T because that's what you so often see for the A in the first person. And then the cobra is because it is a female god speaking. So a male god would have the bird on a stick, a feminine or a female god would have the cobra. So I take that to be an E or an E. So ube, ibe, something like that. Probably.
Okay.
If that makes, I mean,
Yeah.
would be my theory,
It's-
unless anybody else has something else.
Well, it's also got the egg there, I guess, which is confusing. Like if it were just the cobra, that would be fine. But
Yeah, that's true. The egg is a bit weird.
I mean, it's filling up space, but
Yeah, no, that's true. I am not sure. That part I'm
So
not
just-
sure. Why the egg? Why the egg? I mean, later you get that for feminine names, right? I'm not sure if you get it that early. Maybe. Like if I were to, like, yeah, of course you do. Look at Isis, for example, here.
yeah, no, it's always in her name. But
Right.
did they leave out the set part, or did? Yeah.
Oh, now I see what you're saying. You're saying like, is it the heart of
Is it
Isis?
set, or is it E?
I didn't even think of that. Iset.
I think it is.
Could be. It could be.
I mean, it's always dangerous to say, oh, they forgot to write something, but
Yeah. Although the ib looks.
See our previous video for this exact conversation.
Did we say that
I'm
before?
sorry. Are we rehashing the same thing all over?
We
again?
did, yeah. We
Okay.
talked
Oh,
about
that's
this.
embarrassing.
Well, I think we've covered the bases. Let's move on then. Sorry.
Rebecca, are you really on a plane? Hi there.
I am. Hi, probably only for 3 minutes.
Wow.
Lovely to see you all.
Amazing.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, I love that
Hi,
dedication.
nice to see you all.
Hi.
I know, but only three minutes of it. Right, let me miss nothing.
Okay, awesome. We're just recapping here, but this is dedication. This is awesome. All right, so this
Are
is
we still on Horus and Seth?
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
Great.
Yep. And right now we were just going through what we had the last time, and got stuck at the same spot, namely, what is the final ending here on eBay? Presumably my heart, or maybe the heart of Isis, which is Enjoy, Emrashe. Rashe still exists in Coptic, by the way, as does, I just found this out this morning, Segab actually also exists. Segab is Ship, if I'm not mistaken. So you could really, I mean, you Oche, Ise, Osh, Sekshap, O, and we don't have Sa anymore. There would be Shere. So this one you would have to guess. Hor, of course. Mjo saying, this here would be Uk, not Tuk in Coptic. Ek emense nafe or nufe, ibe emrashi. Kind of cool. I mean, most of that you can still somehow say in pseudo-Coptic. So, Sachrak, or Sachrak, may you illuminate what? The top, the land, Emawinek, in your form, or by your form, or by your appearance. And then we had Renin Ptah. Ptah lives on in Greek, so we know that's Ptah. Renin Ptah, Resh, how is that read again? In Nebet or something, right? In Nebev? South of his wall?
South of his wall, but it's Reshid.
Reshi Nebev, I think. Don't quote me on that. I may be missing little T's in there. Neb Anechtawi, a lot of the life of the two lands. Chajo, and I think that's how far we got. Ich Paet or Ich Bet. Ich Bet Yutu Iref. And Sutech, what is it? What is that one shall do? That one shall do it to Seth. So what is it that one shall do it to Seth, or with Seth in English? Hermik and see, or because see, Ditu Hor Set and Yat Wasir, or Osir. Behold, because behold, yeah, Horus has been put on the seat of his father, basically, of the father Osiris. Did we get the next one, or was that it? I don't remember.
That's where we stopped, but we didn't look at the hieratic for that last little section.
Okay. Where do we start then? Here?
Adwenimta.
Okay, let's do it. So when in Dach. Okay. We had before. This here must be Resi. Interesting. Almost looks like a B, doesn't it? Resi Inep. I think that's one that we should take a look at. Occupy, Hieratic. Because I don't have a good feeling or good like oops, wrong one. This one. Don't have a good feel for how that thing actually is supposed to look like. Anybody get the code for it?
Can't guess it an S.
M34? Sorry, M24. I
M24?
think.
You are correct. There it is.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay, that's more like it.
This here, this is like this make. Oh, look at that! So it becomes a pound sign. So it looks like a Libra, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Will it fit underneath your seat? So I can't fit any more under my hands.
Wait, why are we under your seat?
Oh, sorry.
I think she's talking to someone else.
I'm hiding you in a safety brochure at the moment.
Okay, all right. I'm sure we'll be very safe and comfortable there. Too funny. Okay.
Thank you.
So the R becomes the little foot at the bottom, I guess.
Yeah, so it seems, huh? And the top just becomes this thing. Although
Thank
honestly,
you.
now I can't unsee this as an L anymore, like a Libra, like a pound. Okay. Oh, look at that. And then later they go back to something super conservative, as so often, because you want to be. It's sort of like when you have Roman capital letters on a modern US building. Like, okay,
Oh,
we're continuing the tradition.
well, this is a hopeless plane.
Okay, where were we? So here's our. How would you
And then our
write this?
KED.
Would you write this first and then the stroke through it, or the other way around? I have no idea. Probably. No, I really don't know. Like, for example, if you write chai, just thinking of comparanda. Like, for example, if you were to write that ever hungry chick, I think you would do it like this. Start with the olive bird shape and then just put this through it. So an analogy, is this what you would do? Maybe. I don't know. Then back to you, Ralph. You have inep. You have inep. You have the little vertical, whatever that is, canal thingy, huge determinative stroke, F, bird on a stick, neb, onich, and then a huge taui, just a stroke, little dots, stroke, little dots. Then two more of those canals.
The canals are surprisingly clear in that one.
Aren't they? Yeah, you're right.
Normally we just get kind of a T squiggle thing.
Right, and the only thing
ligatured. Okay. Yeah.
Kind of cool, huh? Also very legible plural strokes at the end. What else?
Aren't those the horizontal plural strokes, not the vertical ones?
These are the vertical ones.
Those are the vertical ones? Okay.
Oh, do you mean this? Top, top, top? Like the,
yeah, there's that one, and then there's I can't remember, one Z2 and one Z3 or 5 or something.
Right. Okay, let's see. So you have this, and that, of course, would be in hieratic, essentially something like that. And then you have this puppy, which is what we have here. And honestly, I thought you would always transcribe them as this, which raises the question, when would you ever get this? Fair question. I don't know. How would you distinguish those? I mean, I think I've seen this before, something like that. Could have sworn. Anybody? Like, Aaron, from all your transcription.
We have seen them in two different variants in the text, but I can't remember where. But
Yeah.
I mean, this one here, I would just take as this, as the vertical B, because you have no other way to do. I mean, in demotic, this here becomes just this, right? Like one vertical stroke. But I don't think that's ever done earlier, at least like in standard hieratic. Okay.
Okay, go back to the last page, page 15.
Okay.
We have a bunch of examples of that on that page. Let's see what the difference is.
All right.
Go to line 2 or 4.
Let me do one thing. I'm going to delete all my drawings first. It's otherwise terribly confusing. Okay, here we go. Which line?
Line 4.
4. Okay.
It's just the
Oh yes, so
first one I
this one is
spotted.
really, this is really like, that's what I was thinking of. Perfect.
Yeah, like it looks like a C. Like there's actual horizontal strokes, and the other one is like that.
Right. Or like an
Line,
Asian
but-
number 3 is what I'm thinking. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely that. And then the vertical one is what we just were looking at. 'Cause I can't find an example right now. Zoom out. Has to be somewhere. Here we go. The gods, for example. Where are our gods?
It just looks like another bird on a stick.
Yeah, it does. It's not a good example, is it? But yeah,
Well, it sort of is like that's the. I think that's the same sign as the one we had
It is.
before. So
I mean, it has like
It's
one
cor-
stroke more, and then
So, yeah.
in demotic it just becomes this. That's it. That's your plural strokes.
that's all you get. Yeah.
That's all you get. Yeah.
So it does distinguish, and we've
Yes.
got the consistent
does.
transcription.
Yes. So it looks like we're in good shape there. Chris had H8 and F51 have an enigmatic value of Aleph S. Now it would really help if I knew my Gardner code, which I don't. H8. Oh, that was about the egg. That's a good point. You're saying H8 by itself could just stand for ISIS?
Yes.
Thinking about that. Could that apply here? Could that be an early example of this? Let's go back.
That was something that I heard earlier, but I couldn't come on at the time to mention it. But the egg and the lump of flesh has a phonetic value cryptographically as.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So over here, basically.
Yeah, that one's even in Ellen. The flesh determinative can be Is and Eset Isis or Esir.
The flesh
Osiris.
determinative. Interesting.
But it could just be another determinative.
Okay. Cool. Didn't know that.
Or it's just a thing you write between T and the Cobra.
I mean, this is not the flesh determinative now, because that
No,
would
it's
look-
clearly the egg, but
It's clearly the egg. But the egg being ISIS, that's an interesting theory. Who knows? A little bit of a mystery. But yeah, great point. Thanks for adding that one. I just saw it in the chat just now. Where were we? We were at the plural strokes. Plural strokes. Plural strokes. Her, Jed, with that extra big D. Ich, pa, et, so pet, you, tu, ire, iref. One is to do it, one is about to do it, one will do it. En, tutech. En actually literally for sutech. What is it that, oh, okay, so it's really it's a 4 in a way, huh? Or we could say 2 in English.
What is to be done for Seth?
Yeah. I mean, I was at first thinking, like, what do we do with Seth would be the most. I guess we can do all 3 in English, right? You could say, what are we going to do for Seth, with Seth, or to Seth? And they all have different implications. Like 2 would be negative and 4 would be positive. Maybe with, we don't know how
With
it's
is
going to
neutral.
go on. With is the most neutral here. Nah. Then God here, Mik, with a vertical K. Mik, D2, Hor, Set. I think this is all clear, right? Set, N. This is weird.
Yeah, the eat is not very clear.
That's a polite understatement, yeah. This is really, really weird. Eat. I don't know, but of course, from context, I mean, it was always the office or the seat of the father Osiris, and so that's what it has to be. But I'm not so clear on what's going on there.
Is it 2 G7s?
Is it 2 G7s? You mean?
No, because it has a little tick at the bottom.
You could M17 and then 9, and then 2 G7s.
Hmm. Could it be? But there's this little thing down here, right?
That's the F.
That's the F, exactly. So then why would
Only
it
got
be
I,
here?
F, and then 2 birds on stick.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could see a T here, but I'm really not. We had the father a few times here, didn't we? Let's take a look at how he usually writes it. Should be coming up soon again.
The very first word on the page, first word of the first line is eat.
There you go. There you go. So you could sort of see that if you write the T,
Loppy or ligature, yeah.
and then you sort of like smear them into one into the other, and then you do this, I think you would get exactly what we're looking at here. There you go.
Mostly that the descender of the F is cut off.
Yeah, he didn't do his usual thing where the F goes all the way into the next line, basically. So I think that's what it is. That makes some sense. Okay, Isir, Osiris. Yeah, and I think that's it, right?
Does it mean anything that Cyrus is spelled with the sun disk this time? Is it a different aspect?
Isn't he always spelled this way?
I think it's always is in this text.
I think
Okay.
so.
Oh yeah, there it is. Never mind.
I think it's normal in this text. It's a common variant. Which also, when later then you do Isis and Osiris, they look awfully similar because they both have the set in there. You get something that's really only distinguished by the thing at the end. Like there could be a T or there could be a Ra or Re. So all right. Anybody want to take it from here? Oh, hard to decide just based on the power, right? Okay, all right. Let me give you a little bit more.
I can do it.
Okay, hang on. Let me take the stuff away and turn on the transcription. Oh, sorry. Out of practice. Not good. Here we go. And transliteration. All right. The floor is yours.
When in Pa,
I picked this color. Okay. All right. Fine. That way. When in Pa.
oh, Pare Harakti.
right. Farei, farachti, farafeti. Yeah, something like this.
Herjed. Imi, dead to an E.
Imi, D2. Oh, okay. Yeah, how do we want to,
I
like
think
this?
just DD, I think in this
DD, okay,
case.
DD is fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's better, you're right.
but don't quote me. NE,
Mhm.
Sutah, Sanut,
That's right.
Hem F, or sorry, Hems F, Erchanai,
Remsev, Fedma, E. Yeah. Hang on, I have not used.
U,
Yeah.
UF, MDE, Msheri, Mtuf, Haru, Mtapet,
Oof.
Mtutu,
I think you need to see a little bit more.
Sened NF.
That's it. Snit NF. Perfect. All right. What do you make out of it?
Okay, so then Preharakti, scroll that way a little.
Coming.
Okay, so then Preharakti said, cause one to bring to me Seth, son of Nut, have Seth, son of Nut brought to me, that he may sit with me, and he will be with me as a child, and
son.
he, as a son, and he will speak in the sky, and one will fear him. He will be feared.
Right.
Sort of.
Yeah, the weird one is Heru, right? Everything else makes sense. He shall sit with me as a child, or be with me, basically, like my son is essentially what he's saying. So Re is really adopting Sutech here. So that's all good. And he shall Heru in the sky, and one shall fear him. So Ellie suggests thunder. Heru does exist. Let me see. I think I had a few examples here. But do I have the right one? What is this? No, that's just the text. That's not it. Not it either. Here we go. Is that it? Let me see. Are these examples for Heru? Yes. Heru to speak, for example. Cheruf anaknumu nebek. Yeah. Wow, that sounds very biblical, doesn't it? And he said, I am Gnum, thy Lord. Okay, all right. Cool. So it's definitely, it is a verb that can mean like to speak. Here it is again. Cheru wedet, the great one speaks. But why would you fear that person then?
Guess this is where the thunder comes from. Like it's the voice of the storm god at the sky.
That's essentially what the way
Yeah.
Ali takes it, and he thinks it's actually he thinks it's a misspelling for Meju, and he takes that as to thunder.
Yeah.
I really don't know, because Heru really seems to be more to speak or to call. I see some examples here where it basically says one also like fear, for example. One also calls it the two truths, the two ma'at, and it uses the word Heru for that. One says so. By itself, it doesn't really seem to have that association with true thunder, at least from those few examples I'm looking at here. Maybe you'd have to search more. But it's clearly the meaning that's implied. Yeah, but all the examples here basically mean to say that I'm looking at. Okay,
Can
Yeah.
I point out two things?
of course.
Okay, root definition of hems is probably wrong here. It's probably live with or dwell. But Sherry, could that also mean apprentice instead of son?
Oh,
My little one.
my little
Like
one.
that.
Yeah.
My little one.
Toot, 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 toot.
The little one with the 3,000 Deben hammer.
Right. Who occasionally, I don't know, just like kills people, but okay. Like Osiris.
Did you say apprentice?
Yeah, that was I was asking. If could it mean
Yeah.
apprentice?
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird because on the bark, Set is the one that Ra goes to slay Apep when he's on the sky bark. So it's kind of weird that you would say apprentice. Like, okay, that makes sense.
Right. No, I agree.
Or assistant.
Yeah.
Assistant. But there are words for that. Definitely, there's definitely words for like assistant. I'm not gonna find this quickly enough. I was gonna plug the webcomic Godslave because they have a fantastic depiction of Rey and Apopis and Seth on the barge somewhere at night, but I don't think I'll find it quickly enough, unfortunately. But it's highly recommended. Of course, Godslave being a translation of Hemnetcher, so that's where the name of the comic comes from, and it's just a joy. It's an absolute joy. New episodes every Friday. I think they're on book 6 now. But yeah, there is a scene in there where you actually see Rey almost looking like a skeleton because it's at night, so he's just about to be before being reborn. Now that's a creative interpretation of the comic artist here, but still. And then in front you see Seth slaying the giant serpent there. It's really well done. Highly recommended. But okay, no, I'm not going to find it in time. Could it mean apprentice?
Just means son. I mean that makes sense. He could reside with me as my son.
Right, or my child, maybe. Yeah.
I said child, which then gives a different implication, but son doesn't mean child. It just
That's
means
true.
he'll be
Right.
like a son.
Yeah. Let's go as junior, younger person, lesser man.
Ooh. Ouch.
Lesser man. Ouch. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know, right?
Somebody asked in the chat about swear words yesterday, and I did dig a few up, and yes, they also refer to one of them.
Seth is an adult.
Seth is an adult, isn't he?
He's not a young boy.
I mean, let's put it this way.
But could you call?
He's the uncle of Horus. So
That's why son is different from child.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A son, would you still call an adult son your Shetty? Or is it only a word you use up until adolescence? Or is your son your Shetty for his whole life?
I would say if we just go back to the will that we read a little while ago, which granted is like 1 or 2 generations later, but she's referring there to when she adopts her younger brother as a son, she calls him Sherry. So I think you can use, and that person has already married a grown-up woman. So I think Sherry
so I
can be used.
I don't think it's pejorative. I think it's just familial.
No, that makes sense. I would use another argument, which is basically just parallelism. We just had Horus getting the seed of his father Osiris, so it would make sense to me in that context. So what does Seth get? Well, Ray says, "I'm basically making you my son." That kind of makes some sense to me. It restores the balance of the universe in a way. But I'm really interested now in the word that you ask about, namely, what is apprentice? I think that word does exist, but I couldn't tell you what it is. That would be. I'm just looking at Hanik here, if he has it under trades, what you call an apprentice. But unfortunately, I don't see it quickly enough. Ah, well, something to look into later. Nah, not in here, unfortunately. Ah, well. What was the other one? You said something about Hemsi.
Yes, just said the root definition of it is probably not sit. That makes it
Oh,
Agreed,
sounds
yeah.
wrong.
Agreed.
Dwell
It's
with me.
dwell. It's
like dwell.
probably the
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's like estar in Spanish. Hemsi is a auxiliary verb in Late Egyptian. Anything where you're not actively doing something, you can just be Hemsi doing something. Like I'm sitting here waiting for you. Does that really mean I'm physically sitting here? You may be walking up and down, but the meaning is the same. There is a sentence like this: I've been sitting here for several weeks. How long should I still be sitting here? Obviously not really sitting, but yeah, you're right. You're right. That's true. Cool. Well done. Let's take a quick look at the hieratic. Wenin pa, nothing exciting there, so I'll just skip.
Sorry, can you zoom in a bit?
Say again? Sure.
Could you zoom in a bit? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Re. Am I in the right line? I am.
That's a weird hair.
That is a weird jerk-looking hair, isn't it? How is that hair? What has our Horus been drinking? This is really weird. What's Horus again?
It looks like Jed.
It does look like a
It does
jet,
look like
doesn't it?
Jed. I mean, the rest of it's clearly Hieratic, so it can't be anything else. But
That's right. What is the proper Horus? Is it G6 or something? No, G5? G5. Oh, wait, wasn't there like an abbreviated form? Something that seem to remember something. Let's go down to. Yeah, there it is. This is what it is. Which does look a little bit jet-like, indeed. Okay. So that is a thing. I thought we had seen it once or twice before. So Re, Jedi Horus, Jedi Horus, Achet, double houses, double birds on sticks, Jed, Ima ligatured, or Imim, not Ma. I mean, it's really Imim, Imi, D2, Ni. Yeah, I think I can see that. Ni, Sutech. Hang on, let me move you guys a bit. Sutech, Sa, clearly Sa, a pa missing the birds. Sa, there is no N, Sanut, so it just is basically 3 times the Nuja and the sky. You can really see the sequence here, how they wrote the sky, which is kind of interesting. Horizontal first, vertical, second horizontal, second vertical, and then that weird smudge that's always under the, yeah, who knows why. The sky is watery. No, sorry.
blue like the sea.
Yeah, I guess, huh? Chemse being stationary. Giant child here instead of the sitting determinative, which is common. F, chene or chena, chena. Yeah, okay, with a lot of goodwill, I do see an A1 in here.
Could that be a C1, like the divine one for a change? But is that diagonal stroke, is that part of the A1 or is it part of the Yod?
I think it's part of the EU.
Okay.
Would have to be, because he normally writes the
He always writes it, yeah.
So
Okay.
this is EU, I think. UF, D, together with me, Mdi, Emrashe. Not Emrashe? No, Msheri, I'm sorry. Msheri, I had it backwards. Msheri. He doesn't say my, though, or does he? Is it a divine son, or is this here referring back to Re? I don't know.
I mean, it's just been defined through the whole thing, so just as a son.
Yeah, I think it is his son. Because if it were my son, he would have said Pai Sheri, I think. More common to put that in front. M2, M2, then here's the Cheru. M2 Cheru. Wow. So this is our A2 man. It is. So this is our W, and that's our A2 man. And the only reason I recognize it as an A2 man is because it looks exactly like the demotic version. For example, let's put name in Raiden. This thingy here. I mean, that's what the A2 man becomes eventually. And that is kind of cool that it's already here. I didn't notice that before, but that's what it is.
Yeah, that's neat.
That is neat. How you get there? Ask me something easier. I don't know how you get from the normal A2 man, which should be something like, right, like this. How do you get from there to here? I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, the hand's on the wrong side, right? If this were the hand, then why is it here? That doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay, all right. Unless it's somehow a misspelling or something. I don't know. But this is kind of cool. M-ta pet in the sky. M2 the Sinid. Sinid, and unfortunately he doesn't write the goose. That's very often used in the word to fear, right? That lying goose thingy. Actually kind of curious how you would write that, but he doesn't. Okay. Sinid enough. Interesting that you're afraid NF for him, not any other preposition. I don't know what other preposition it should be, but apparently it's an N, which is kind of interesting. Cool. Well done. Well, we're not going to finish the text today, I can tell you that.
I think Hawk has something about Sendu being always written kind of like that. And it's not to be read the way you normally read it, but it's not fair of me, but
which one?
Yeah, something Sendu.
Sorry, which word were you on? I missed it.
And fair, Sendu.
Yeah.
I think I said something like that. It's always written in sort of strange way that it sounds like it said something else. Can't quite remember what it was.
Okay. Doesn't ring a bell.
I think it's Sendu E. It's not fear me, but the fear of me or something. It's not important.
Okay, all right.
I think that might be something with the goose glyph. Like, the whole word isn't spelled out. Once you have the goose there, they leave out one of the other consonants because it's inconvenient to write. But
have a quick look.
I'm fine if we link it afterwards. It's not important.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. I'd be interested for sure. Oops, is it a ch? Yeah, it's supposed to be a ch. There's the goose. Or just the goose.
Yeah. No intermediate writings.
Yeah, please post it later. I mean, apparently you can also get rid of the goose and just put a stroke there, as you would expect. Okay.
So as far as like being afraid for him or to him, I wonder if Christians think that the prepositions are more about the state it's in before it moved. That an and like I'm going to be doing ancient Greek grammar here, but like the M is like the genitive; it's the thing that it's coming from, and the R is the thing it's going towards.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and so N is kind of a dative thing; it's just kind of here. So it's being done for the benefit of this thing here, or it's you're afraid of this thing in the sky. Like it's associated with the stationary position of the action. And so it's not a motion from something, it's not a motion to something, it's just there. And I wonder if that's a better way to think about that sort of NF, percentage NF. But
why not? I mean, if it my mind also initially went to R, like because it's towards somebody, and you're basically saying it's more like an off kind of afraid of.
Yeah, it's more like a fear of him is what we would say in English for that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the classic preposition problem, right? We would say afraid of someone, they say afraid to someone. It means the same thing, but they just don't map the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. First question always is it a thing? Is it just our text or is it generally so? And for example, here's another one, snitch and shefit. So fear of your shefit is hard to translate. It's also fearsomeness, but often translate something like ritual fear. How would I say this? It's like it's your awesomeness essentially. So the fear of your awesomeness basically. That would even make sense in English. I think the N is regular, so it is really an N. And what's behind it psychologically, Ralph? I like your explanation. Good way how to remember it. Afraid of a god, of any god or goddess. Oh yeah, this is from our text, isn't it? They're not afraid of any god or goddess. That was referring to Osiris's minions. Interesting. That's really all we have here. Not a lot. But it looks like N is a thing.
So you could also just say that N is the preposition that Sedge takes.
Honestly, that works. All right. Do we want to try one more?
Sure, we have 5 minutes. It's short.
Let me know if I need to zoom or anything. Ready to go.
Guess I can try if no one else wants it.
Let's do it.
Winning 2. Herr Shem. That Oot.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the T. Chit, you said, right?
Shemit. Herr Jed and Pa Rakti. Okay, so Herr Saiset. Aha. Heka. Something or other.
Yeah. Very good.
Ankh Jed Seneb. Ankh Uja. Yes.
Okay.
That.
Let's take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is something like he was brought. Then he was brought. And he came to.
Let's see. So Shem.
Yeah, sorry. I'm having trouble with the Shem.
So Shem is Shay in Coptic, to go.
Shay. Okay.
So
it's hair plus infinitive.
Exactly.
Shem. So then went to say,
That's it. So
one went to say to Hieratic,
That's right.
the son of Horus, son of Isis,
That's right.
stood up,
Yeah, or I put a
started to be the ruler.
would be, or if you take it as a stative, then it would be more like an accomplished thing, right? Like a qualitative in Coptic. So he has stood up or has established himself. I mean, he basically, literally, it says he has stood up.
Right.
I really like Hoxin having fallen and then stood up again. So he
I
has
like it
risen
as-
up.
I like in this context. I like ascended.
Ooh,
Ascended.
nice.
Or,
Yeah.
okay.
That fits, yeah. Oh, he had ascended as the ruler.
Right. And then double
May
says,
the ruler live and prosper and be healthy.
right. May he live, prosper, and be healthy. May he live, prosper, and be healthy. Once way. Yeah, that's right. All right, very good. Yeah, let's pause here. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to take the hieratic as well. We have 1 minute. We can finish this. So when in 2, wow, that 2 is cool. That is like,
Yep.
you're getting something for your money there.
Finial 2.
Hashem, that's clear, right? The ligature empty, jet, or Horus, as we've just learned. I mean, this really could be both, right? And pareja, yeah, there it is. Look at that. Come on, that's the same
There
thing.
they are.
But the jet has an R on top. Okay, wonderful. Harachi, then a huge Hor, Horus, Sa, Ise, Aha, M, opening the cartouche, Heka, closing the cartouche.
Giant Heka, yeah.
Giant Heka, yeah. And then just lots of good wishes. Very good. Cool, guys. Thank you so much, as always. And yeah, more in 2 weeks.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
See, I told you we wouldn't finish today.
It's all my fault. I derailed us from the start.
No, I love it.
All right, guys. See you soon. Have a good
Bye.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Weekend.